This week we have been at Enongishu Community Conservation in Northern Mara, Maasai Mara. And one of the things that we are doing is helping this team, which is under the Kenya Veterinary Association and this conservancy with very many other partners, to vaccinate dogs, cats and a few domestic animals against rabies.
Enongishu is one of 17 different Maasai Mara conservancies outside of the reserve. But in the conservancies is where there's really a lot of interaction between humans and wildlife and livestock and domestic animals and everything all together. So within the Mara conservancies, we're the northernmost conservancy. So I think we had about 32 vets from Nairobi, plus our local team is about equal, if not a little more. So we've had 65 participants this year, whereas last year I think we were at 35. So I'm not sure there's room for much more growth, to be honest. I think this is about as much as we can handle logistically, unless it becomes more of a multiple location event, which definitely would be more effective. But I'm happy to say that we achieved our goal this year.
KESCAVA has been running an activity in the Mara, North Mara, for the last 6 years. This is our 6th annual event where we all gang up, come together and vaccinate dogs and cats and some livestock against rabies, because one of our objectives is to control rabies. And rabies, as we all know, is as a disease that jumps from animals to human beings, especially involving dogs and cats. So our major aim is to prevent it through the spread of rabies through dogs and cats. So we have been doing this for the last 6 years, and our numbers have been very good. Having started off covering the large area and still doing 150 animals, to now our target this year was to cover 2,500 animals, and we have achieved and surpassed that target, having reached 2,700 animals in the 3 days that we've been here. But most importantly, I think, is the coordination and the networking and the teamwork that has been involved in making sure that these events are a success. We all know that rabies is commonly found traditionally in your domestic dogs and cats and sometimes some livestock. But the most important aspect about controlling rabies, especially in the dogs and cats, is that these are homestead animals. They stay with people, they stay with the children, and in a community like this, they are mainly hanging around children, hanging around the women in the homesteads. So we need to control rabies, and we've done a great job in doing this by vaccinating, because by controlling rabies, you actually protect the vulnerable, that is the mothers who are basically the leaders in the homestead, the children who interact with these animals and may not know when the signs come around and they get bitten. So this is an important aspect of controlling rabies in the domestic population.
And then the additional benefit is of course for those boundary communities that they might not have the interaction with wildlife and their domestic animals, but their animals can also be very vicious and also bite people and spread the disease. So the idea is to assist those communities on the boundary in addition to stopping that transmission between wildlife and domestic animals.
As KESCAVA, we are very grateful to all our sponsors and partners, and this year we're extremely grateful for Action for Protection of Animals Africa, who have been instrumental in ensuring that the event is a success by providing vaccine, by providing the manpower, by providing garments for the teams as they go out there. So we are very grateful, because most of these costs are extremely high, and when you get partners such as this, you end up covering the most important aspect of your activity or the event.
If we can control rabies at the dog level, we have controlled it for the wildlife and for the domestic animals and also for people. So join us as we make this an annual event. We want to go bigger, we want to go broader, and not just Maasai Mara, but other national parks in this country, so that we can conserve our wildlife for our heritage and our future.